It's your boy JB, aka the King of Soul, and today we got some Jordan 5s to look at. The Air Jordan 5 Retro. Now they are calling this the fire red colorway. Before we get into the review, do me a favor, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. If you do dig the content, also hit that share button. These videos that we do on this channel are strictly for review purposes, so if you do happen to have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to drop those down below. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the review. So this sneaker does come in your standard Air Jordan 5 box here. Now in the box leads, you do have this hit of black. Smack there in the middle, you do have that red Jordan Jumpman logo there. If you do a 360 around the box, you will notice more of the hit of black up top. Now you do have the red Nike Air branding over on this side. The bottom portion of the box, you do have this hit of gray, and it does have these black paint blotches here, if you will. The bottom portion of the box is just have this hit of black. Now you do have some copyright information and Nike branding over here in white. Over here on this side, you do have your red Jordan Jumpman logo, and that's pretty much it to notate there. But for those that do care about that, there you go. Now the box label on the sneaker does read Air Jordan 5 Retro OG. The colorway says white, fire red, and then black. Now when you do open the box, and it is a swing box lid situation, now up underneath you do have this hit of white here. I don't see like any factory stamps or anything like that. Now you are met with this black kind of like, you know, trash bag kind of plastic here that is covering the sneaker. And then you are met with the actual sneaker itself. Now this is the second time this sneaker has been reviewed on this channel. This is the 2025 version of the Air Jordan 5 Fire Red. Inside the box, you do have like your green and white sticker over on this side. But man, I'm moving that out the way. But yeah, man, Fire Reds, these are, in my opinion, probably, if not the best, I'm going to say like number 2 as far as like, you know, Air Jordan 5 colorways go. Now in my opinion, I kind of toggle back and forth between this and like, you know, the metallic pair. But yeah, man, they actually did a great job on this sneaker. Now when this one was released, it did not immediately sell out, which is kind of shocking. This fire red colorway is one of like, you know, the most popular Air Jordan 5 colorways. They did give us the black tongue on this release here, and then of course they did keep it simple and gave us like, you know, the hits of leather throughout the entire upper. Yeah, man, the thing that I like most about this version of the fire red, because you know they do have the silver tongue version as well. But they do have like, you know, the stitching over on this side with the number 23 there in red. Yeah, man, let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. We have seen this before, well, seen these before, so we're not going to take too long on these. But again, this is the Air Jordan 5 Retro, and again, this is the Fire Red 2025 colorway. So we are going to take a look at the right sneaker like we always do. Now from first observation, the sneaker does look like what you would expect from any other Air Jordan 5. On the lateral side of the sneaker line, you do have this hit of white leather for the most part throughout the entire upper. Now you do have some white stitching that is consistent. Now up here up top, you know, right near the laces, you do have these eyelets here in white here, and then you do have a black one going up top. You do have your semi-translucent white netting on this one, and then you do have some white mesh up underneath. You do have your hit of the red for the number 23 going towards the back stitched in, and of course it does kind of have like this shadow effect here with the black stitching. The midsole of the sneaker does have this hit of red. Now you do have some black shark teeth, and those are consistent with most Air Jordan 5 designs going towards the front, and then you do have this hit of black going towards the rear. The sock liner of the sneaker does have like this hit of red. Other than that, you do have this clear kind of, you know, semi-translucent outsole, if you will, at the bottom, and that's pretty much it there. Switching gears, going to the front toe box area of the sneaker. Now you are met with more of this white dyed leather material here. They did keep it consistent with the mud guard here for the white stitching and the white leather itself. The upper portion of the sneaker, the toe box area, you do have some more white stitching here, of course. The sneaker did come pre-laced, and they did give us these flat white laces. They did not give us a secondary option on these. Going up about 3/4 of the tongue. I'm gonna try to move it out the way, but you can notice more of like, you know, that semi-translucent netting there. The tongue of the sneaker, you are met with this black mesh material. Well, first and foremost, you do have like this lace lock here, and it is like, you know, kind of like in this see-through clear color here. Now you can hit the red button here to kind of like loosen the laces here, and then of course, like, you know, the red lace lock itself does have some black Nike text here as well. Then going towards the upper portion of the tongue, you do have this black mesh material, but they also did give us that red Jordan Jumpman logo there stitched in. The back portion of the tongue does have this hit of red, and it is consistent with the sock liner. They did give us this white tag here, and it does have the Air Jordan text there in black. The inside of the sneaker does have that hit of red, but if you also look closely, they did give us that black Nike Air branding. The medial side of the sneaker, they did keep it consistent as far as like Air Jordan 5 builds go. You do have the white dyed leather up top, more of that you know, clear netting over on this side as well, and then you do have the black and red hits for the midsole itself. You do have another hit of black going towards the front toe box area there, and then of course you do have your cutout there for the air bubble, and that's pretty much it going towards the rear. So they did give us more of like, you know, this white leather here with some white stitching here for the panels, and then they did go ahead and give us this black Nike Air brand in there stitched in. That was like the most important piece on this sneaker itself, because I am a fan of like the Nike Air branding on the back of my Jordan 5s versus like, you know, the Jordan branding. But I do understand why they flip-flop, and typically what it's supposed to be is like when Jordan brand does do the Nike Air branding, that means that it's like, you know, kind of like true to the OG collection that came out, and that's consistent with Air Jordan 3s, 4s, and 5s. So if you see the Nike Air branding on the back, that means like, you know, it's an OG colorway. Outside of that, you're going to see like, you know, the Jordan Jumpman logo, but definitely glad they went with this option on this one here. Other than that, you do have more hits of red and black. The bottom portion of the sneaker, now this sneaker does have your standard Air Jordan 5 traction, so you do have herringbone traction going throughout the entire bottom here. You do have this hit of red going towards the toe, and then in the mid portion there, and they did give us that Nike brand and embossed there in the rubber, so to speak. Up top, you do have this Jordan Jumpman logo there in black, and that's pretty much it there. Again, the bottom is consistent with any other Air Jordan 5. The left sneaker, pretty consistent with the other side. They didn't swap out anything over on this one. You do have your lace lock. Of course, you do have your Nike Air stitching on the back on this one. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Definitely glad to get a second pair on this one. Again, this one has been featured on the channel before. This is a new plug, and this was a sneaker that they did want me to review by request. So definitely shout out the vendor who actually sent it over to the channel. But as far as like, if I were to rate this sneaker, just like I did last time on this one, this is a 10 out of 10. I love Air Jordan 5s. I like the fact that they did go ahead and give us this black tongue option. Now, even though if you did compare this one with the silver tongue fire reds, I do tend to like the silver tongue a little bit. I'm just like, you know, I'm a fan of like that reflective 3M, but you can't go wrong with this one either. The plus on this pair is the fact that they got that red 23 stitching going towards the rear. Definitely glad that they did spin back and give us like, you know, this one again. As far as like comfort and sizing, the sneaker does fit like what you would expect from like any other Air Jordan 5. Now for me, I do stay true to size with my Air Jordan 5s. I don't really foresee a reason for you to want to go up or down a half size. Just stick true to what you know. And I do encourage you guys to stay engaged like always. That can be reached on all social media platforms, because I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even here on YouTube. Everything is at the King of Soul. But before we go, I'm gonna hit you guys with a 360 and the B-roll like I always do. But again, there you go. Air Jordan 5 Retro. And again, this is the fire red colorway, the 2025 version. So there's the front of the sneaker. Lateral side of the right. Then there's the lateral side of the left. There's your bottom. And again, standard Air Jordan 5 traction. There's the medial side of the sneaker. And then there's the rear. But I do thank you guys for taking the time to tune in like always. But until next time, see you later.